My Lords, I declare my interests as a businessman and investor, and I welcome the excellent maiden speeches of my hereditarily noble friend Lord Young of Acton, by my poised and articulate noble friend the Baroness Cash, and by the two other noble baronesses. I also apologise that with the noble minister's kind agreement I may have to leave before the winding up. My Lords, good economic policy brings prosperity, security and jobs. The government says economic growth is its number one priority. Does this bill promote growth, which needs a low regulation, low tax, small government, free market environment? No, it does not. When this government came to power, it succumbed to the time-honoured temptation to focus on demand, not least by giving selected supporters above inflation pay raises. Demand is an attractive policy because it pursues the covetable votes of the UK's over 50 million adult consumers. Supply, which a government seeking growth should have more properly focused on, attracts just the 5 million votes or so from employers and sole proprietors. Demand stimulation, however, quickly runs up against funding new spend with available tax receipts. Tax hikes are made hoping that tax will go up above its current 36% of GDP, but it obstinately hasn't. Government expenditures and regulation are going up, but so too are departures from this country. Entrepreneurs, high earners and achievers, young strivers, all those current and future wealth creators who would have stayed and grown the economy had a supply-side approach been taken. Even though the Chancellor U-turned yesterday, the OBR cut its 2% GDP growth projection to 1%. That's still too optimistic, yet even 1% GDP growth means about zero growth per capita. And my Lords, there was an unmentioned elephant yesterday, this very bill. Here's what the OBR said about it. In this forecast, they said, we have not incorporated any impact of the government's plan to make work pay. They then go on to say that the impact on GDP of this bill should be negative, which drops their growth projection to below 1%. After last year's budget, the economy slowed to a halt, just as we had warned it would. Now, every piece of this vast new bill seems designed directly to further ruin the economy. Banning zero-hour contracts, letting the union fox into the SME henhouse, the right to request flexible working, no waiting period on statutory sick pay, ditto on parental and bereavement leave and unfair dismissal. Each claims virtue, my Lords, but in reality damages economic growth and jobs. My Lords, what will the economic consequences of Labour be? Higher unemployment, especially youth, lower general prosperity, many individual recessions as GDP per capita declines, an alarming prospect for the country's future fiscal stability. Yes, my Lords, it may feel good to have a heart, but it's more important to have a head. Yeah.